How can it work in your favor if you keep going back to the very thing that you keep praying and asking God to remove out of your life? Let me tell you something. If you think that God is just going to reach out of the heavens and touch you and say, come up out of it, that's not going to work like that. God gives you free will to choose, and you need to choose wisely. Yes, it may be challenging, but there are some things you're going to have to learn how to walk away from in the right frame of mind, with your peace, with your health, and not only that, you guys, with your finances. Because let me tell you something. I was on a TikTok video yesterday listening to this young lady that I follow or whatever, whatnot. And she was telling me how she does this course to help people get different government contracts or whatever, whatnot. And she was giving some examples on her live yesterday, stating how some people have gotten contracts and they have allowed somebody to cost them to lose that contract. And they lost the contract. This one particular young lady lost the contract, and she got a good federal government contract, y'all. She lost it because some guy that she was dating had her car. Let me tell you something, young ladies, and this can go for the young men too. If you got somebody in your life that's a leech and that don't want to see you come up, because let me tell you something, spirits recognize spirits. And when you have that potential and you have that drive to come up, and you got a leech trying to leech onto you, sis or bro, you gonna have to let it go. Ain't that much sleeping around in the world worth it? Because at the end of the day, when the government give out contracts, y'all, they usually for a couple of years if you get them big contracts. And I began to ponder. First of all, this young man, he had to have some very, 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 very low self-esteem and issues with the young lady he was dating coming up. Because if you know that if your old lady won a contract, that's a win-win for both of y'all. That is a win-win for the both of you. Because if she coming up and she with you, you know 9 times out of 10 she gonna look out for you. But you got to be one selfish knucklehead. You want to use her car, this, that, and the third. But I can't always blame it on the young lady. I meant blame it always on the young man. I gotta get her too. For the simple fact, if you know you won this 6X contract, 6-figure contract, ain't no way in the heavens sake that you should be letting nobody hold your car, period. And first and foremost, why he ain't got no car? I mean, I know we all have to start somewhere, y'all, but y'all better learn. When you dating somebody, which you shouldn't be dating, now we've been there, done that. Let me tell you something, if he ain't got nothing, leave him with nothing. If she ain't got nothing, leave her with nothing. Some people come into your life, y'all, because they don't want to see you succeed, and the enemy know that you're going to become somebody. And if you got somebody on your team that's a for nothing, that for nothing gonna make you want to be a for nothing. And while you out here being a for nothing and done lost what God has blessed you with, 9 times out of 10 he gonna be skinning and grinning in somebody else's face like a chessy cat, or she gonna be skinning and grinning in somebody else's face like a chessy cat. Y'all better learn. And sometimes it's going to be hard because you move by your flesh and your feelings, but y'all going to have to fall back from some people because they have come into your life so you won't be who God has created you to be. They see the success in you. Let me tell you something. You may not recognize your greatness, but you best believe it's somebody watching you because they see that greatness in you. And if you are building a foundation, you can't build with nobody that don't want nothing. I'm going to say it again. You cannot build with nobody that don't want nothing, because while you're trying to go forward, they're trying to stay still. Because instead of them getting their mind up and say, we're going to grow and we're going to flourish together and we're going to do this thing right, we're going to come in covenant, they're going to use you mentally, they're going to use you physically, and they're going to use you financially. 3 strikes you out, sis. 3 strikes you out, bro. And some of y'all wonder why y'all can't get nowhere, because y'all connected to people that don't want nothing. And that's dangerous. That is dangerous for you to be planning, setting goals, and you got it for nothing in your life, whether it's a man or a woman, that is very dangerous. That is an envious spirit. That is a jealous spirit. And y'all, I don't like to see no jealous man at all. That's real catty. That's real catty for a man to be jealous of his woman or be jealous of his wife, y'all. That's dangerous. That type of leadership you don't want to be under. Because, baby, let me tell you something. When you get in covenant, when you get married, you need to be able to follow that man's leadership. And he's showing you right now he's not a good leader because he don't want to lead you to help you elevate. Because, again, if you with him, I guarantee you she was looking out for him. But also, I got to fault her, too. Because when God has blessed you with a contract or God has blessed you with an opportunity, you need somebody that's going to be a forerunner on your team. And if you got somebody that the only thing they want to do is be on your team and sit on the bench, that's not going to work. You need to be working like a well-oiled machine going forward, not backwards. And I guarantee you this young lady probably wrestled with herself like, oh my God. Y'all, sometimes it's challenging to get contracts from what I'm hearing. But when you get them, y'all, and when you get a good contract with 6 figures, baby, it don't get no better than that. And I'm just like, Lord, speak to the hearts of the young men and young women to be mindful and not be so sensual to the point they are just content with having the bare minimum of saying they're in a relationship with somebody that ain't in a relationship with them. Somebody that want to be with them because they know it's a good financial benefit. They know it's a benefit because they got reliable transportation. Let me tell you something, young ladies and young men, because it can go vice versa. You don't need nobody on your team that ain't doing nothing. If they ain't out here working a job, they need to have a 1099. They need to be a contract or having their own legal, legit business. But if you got somebody that's trying to be joined at the hip with you and ain't helping move you forward, you need to let them go. I don't care how good they look, how good they can cook, how good they bedroom game is. That means no, never mind. Those are feelings, and babies, trust me, feelings change. Okay. But y'all, when I heard that yesterday, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And she was telling this young lady why she couldn't work her contract because the guy was getting her car. But I had to also remember too, you brought him in your life. You got to get him out of your life. And this is to say, because some of y'all been praying to God for opportunities and breakthroughs. And I'm telling you right now, some of y'all ain't got a breakthrough because of who you laying up with in this season. Because God know when he get ready to bless you, you ain't going to be able to handle it because you're going to be too busy running after him instead of doing what it is he's called you to do with the opportunities he's blessed you with. Now, if you married, that's a totally different thing. Y'all going to have to work that thing out, but you still don't be no fool. And I often tell you, just because you saved does not make you salt. You better make sure you mindful who you getting in covenant with. Because some people, y'all, they can help push you forward or they can help push you back. And you're going to have to determine, do you want to stay still, go forward or backwards? But at the end of the day, baby, we want to move forward. And some of y'all, I'm telling you, y'all breakthrough, y'all blessing is right there. But y'all got some men and women in y'all life that if God bless you today, that buster or that chick is going to wear you down mentally. They're going to wear you down financially because their hand is going to be gimme, gimme, gimme. You don't need that in your life while you trying to, build. And let me tell you something, y'all. Don't let nobody stop your blessing. I cannot stress that enough. Don't let nobody stop your blessing. And a lot of y'all letting for nothing stop y'all blessing. And when they stop your blessing, they still gonna be out here hoeing on you. They still gonna be out here fornicating. They still gonna be out here doing whatever it is that you've been praying to God and asking them no longer to do. Let me tell you something, this season, sometimes you gotta be okay with being by yourself, dealing with your issues, dealing with your traumas, this, that, and the third. If you are in your singleness, even if you're in your married life, y'all, you still gotta build that relationship with God. And at the end of the day, you gotta know that you don't have no control over nobody but you. You can't make a wife do right. You can't make a husband do right. Let me tell you something. Yeah, you can get them kids in order, but eventually, y'all, them kids gonna get grown and do their own thing. But the person that you got control over is you. You better get in the word of God. You better stay steadfast. And let me tell you something, when you stay steadfast, y'all, it's going to hurt. See, people don't talk about the growing pains. They show you the flashy, this, that, and the third. But baby, it's in the secret place when God dealing with you. It's in the secret place when you knowing, okay, I can't do this no more. I can't act like this. I got to change my dress code. I got to change my heart posture. I got to get in the word. So with that being said, think about it. Pause, Selah. Have a blessed and productive day.